Hi, this is Kelly again from the Plant-Based Kitchen. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about dried beans. So dried beans, you can get those in usually the packets that are at the grocery store. So this one's like for the 15 bean soup. You can get 365 organic red kidney beans. You can get pinto beans. Great to always have on hand. One thing that I recommend is when you get them, especially in bulk, so these are the navy beans, what you want to do is get them out of the plastic. They just store a lot better. And hopefully we can do this without spilling everything all over the place. Put them in these wide mouth jars. So there's all types of different jars that you can get. I'll stop there. So these are ones, they have little seals on them, which are really pretty, so you can put them on your counter. You'll notice that I have the pinto beans. I have them out all the time. So you can see behind me that I have all types of different mason jars and different storage jars. I have smaller ones when I want to do like quinoa or flaxseed or millet or any of those type of things. So you just put them in there, and usually you can, if you don't buy enough, that's great, doesn't matter, or fill it all the way up. Mix some beans if you really like beans. And then what you can do, and some people are worried about like bugs getting into things, especially if they're in the pantry. So you just take a dried chili pepper, and you'll notice here, this is dried jalapenos and dried chili peppers. I just actually put them in the dehydrator for, I think it was like about 12 hours or so, and it just dehydrated them up, which is really nice. So I keep those on the counter too, because you can actually rehydrate them and use them for many different things, or you can chop them up and use them in all kinds of things. So just put that in there, which makes it absolutely beautiful. Close it up, and you're ready to go. The good thing about this is when you're storing this, you've got all these jars that are in your pantry, and you can see, looks like, okay, I need some more navy beans, or I need some more of pinto beans, because maybe here I've got a whole other pack right here that I can actually add to the pinto beans to keep it full, which is really nice. So that's how you store them. It's the easiest way. But you can see, pretty. Okay. So to soften beans when you're cooking them, the first thing you want to do is when you're soaking them in water, so let's just say you're soaking them overnight, add a little bit of salt to the water. So you don't want to add salt to the actual cooking part of it, but you want to add salt to the water when they're soaking, because that'll actually help and loosen them up a little bit. So when you're get ready to cook them, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take all that water out, so drain it all, and re-put in new fresh water to cook the beans. So that way you don't have all that salt, especially if you're looking to live a low salt lifestyle. That was hard to say. All right. If you're cooking beans also, and you've got long cooking beans, and you're worried about them getting mushy, that's one thing that you want to worry about. Add a little bit of maple syrup. So a tablespoon of maple syrup, so especially for like baked beans, if you're making your own homemade, or something that's cooking really long, will keep the beans from getting mushy. So maple syrup or agave or something like that, some kind of a natural sweetener. You'll notice I keep my maple syrup in jars, in the mason jars. I just like having it in there because then I know exactly how much it is. It's not in the plastic. I have nothing against plastic, believe me. It's just easier to use like this. So if I need a little bit, or if I need a tablespoon, I can just dip my tablespoon in there and away I go. So always keep it in the mason jar, and I always know how much I've got. It's that. All right, so to keep beans from bursting. So if you're cooking the beans, the one thing that you want to do, if you want to keep them from bursting open, and then that kind of also leads to the mushiness, always cook them on low, so just let them simmer, which is really nice. So just a little, you'll see a little bit of bubbles, but not much. And then keep the lid off. So that keeps all the kind of the moisture and everything else coming out of the pan, and it'll give you nice whole beans. So that's always a tip to remember, especially if you want those nice whole beans. So then the last thing, so let's just say you're getting ready to make your own hummus. So you've got garbanzo beans. You've been cooking them for a little while, and they're starting to get a little soft. So I've had these cooking for just a little bit. And then what you're going to want to do if you want to make hummus, and you don't have to. If you want to use tahini in it or some kind of other nut butter or something like that when you're making your hummus to make it smooth, you can do that. But if you want to make it really smooth without adding any fat, which is actually a really good thing, they always call it SOS, salt, oil, and sugar, which they say is the vein of our existence. So what you want to do is you just so once they're kind of cool a little bit, so you still have the water, I drained it out. What you're going to do is you're going to put them in a towel. So you can do a white cotton towel, something else, and then you just kind of rub them around a little bit. Oops, I lost a few down here. And when you're rubbing them, what will end up happening is the skins will come off. So you get these little skins off of garbanzo beans. If you pull those skins off and then you put them back in and let them cook for probably about another 20 minutes or so, you can actually just use the garbanzo beans without tahini or anything else, and you'll have the smoothest, when you put it in your food processor, the smoothest, most wonderful hummus. Wonderful stuff. All right, so that's it on your dried beans. We'll go actually focus a little bit more on canned beans and fresh beans here soon. So stay tuned for more tips and tricks, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.